fog and screams, shows, and scare zones. That can mean only one thing. Fright Fest is back at Six Flags Great Adventure. Now, you all know I love attending on opening night. However, unfortunately, there's been some schedule changes, meaning there is no awakening and there is no procession of all the scare actors. So instead, while it's still light out, we're gonna head on straight over to Big Top Terror. Oh. Oh no.
My name is Tina. I'm gonna take you!
Hi Tina. Nice to see you.
Devil's coming for you! You want the devil? You think this is amazing?
Yes, look at all Holy smokes, they really improved that one. I can't really put into words like the changes they made. One, there was a lot more scare actors, and you'll notice that on the map there are much fewer. I think last year was 10 and this year is 6, and they are way better for it because that was just like instead of having like 1 or 2 scare actors per room, there was 3, and they added some boo holes to connect rooms, so you know, a scare actor could go and get you after the fact. It's still kind of golden hour right now, so I think we're gonna head over to the Manor and Fears. I think we're gonna start things off here with Fears, which was my favorite of the 2 from last year. Just got through Fears, and unfortunately there were only 3 scare actors through that, which I tried to convey. Like, there was some automated stuff as well, but unfortunately it was just a little bit sparse. It reminds me of last year where between the 2 of these there weren't that many scares to go around. I do like the setup, you know, the decorations and all of that. The way that it's done is really nice. I just wish there had been a little more scare. And next up we have the Manor.
Isn't it beautiful? Look!
Oh, it's amazing. Wow, you're an artist.
No, out of my room! Leave!
Get everything that's life. Got done with the Manor just there, and again, it was light on scare actors, although they were doing a great job, and I should say Fears as well. It's got to be tough being one of the few scare actors in any of these mazes because you really have to bring that energy. There was one at the end, she got me real good enough to like actually shake the camera around. The most unique thing though in there was that there were some automated scares. I've never seen this before. Normally it's just like you can hear the whirring of whatever gears do the automated movements, but this one was a double scare, an automated double scare, which I went this way looking at some sort of device that was sparking or throwing the sound, and then on the opposite side there was an even bigger sound. I wonder how they triggered that or something, but that's the first time I've been scared by a double scare that had no scare actor involved, and I think that was very ingenious. Oh, can I tell you how nice it is to see some fog in the park again? Holy moly. But we're heading over now to the Showcase Theater. So Unleashed was wonderful. I noticed that they made a couple of big changes. There's not quite as big of a set change there. There was that like kind of runway in the front that's gone from last year, as well as doing the Wheel of Death and the giant trampoline. So there's a lot less going on in between the different performers and their kind of spotlights. But the spotlights here, they changed out all of them except for, I think, the hula hoop. I'm not sure if that was the same person. However, all of them were really good this year. I'm so happy to see like this variety here. And even though it's very different from last year's, it still carries that same spirit, and I'm excited to see this again, for sure. But now the sun has set, and it's time to go explore Aftermath.
I want to be first, but I think that thing is alive. No, it's not. Yes, it is! Told you it was. What are you going to eat for dinner? There's nothing got it. Oh, man. Well, right there, there's a divot. Oh, man. Is that Mary?
Hey, we gotta get you out of here. Let's go. Don't look at him. It's too late. Quick, go. Keep going, Cena. Let's go. Come on, let's go. Lose anybody? There's another one.
There's no one here. There's no one here. It's okay. It's safe. It's safe. There's no one here.
Andre, how do you know where you're going? You could be leading us down the wrong trail, Andre.
Oh, we made it.
No, this wasn't some elaborate trick. Thank you so much to that whole group that was down to let me kind of lead them through the entire thing. I was walking through it backwards, and man, it was a great time, because the scare actors kind of, when they saw me like coming in backpack first, they kind of knew the assignment, and it was just magical, pure magic. It was great. Some of the scenes could have used a little bit more lighting, and I think some of the scare actors could have used like a better place, but absolute perfection from the guy with the chainsaw at the end. It got everybody. Super dark over here, and you can probably hear blood drums in the background, but next up, Reflections of the Dead. All right, holy smokes, that was tough to get through, mainly because one of the scare actors just kept following me, and it's one of the things that I love when you have all that energy directed at yourself. But I was so panicked because I was trying to film, and I started putting the camera and walking backwards like I did with the group in Aftermath. However, it was in the maze, so I was looking around, where's my reflection? I was looking for where the reflection wasn't so I could continue walking. Oh man, that was awesome. There's only like a handful of scare actors in there, but because of the mirrors and stuff, they can do a lot of build anticipation and stuff like that. So if they know how to work those mirrors, they only need like a handful of scare actors and you're set. And that girl that was in there was just phenomenal. Another show that's back for this year is Blood Drums. I turned the corner and would you believe it, the show's about to begin. So that was 2 shows in quick succession. Blood Drums were doing their thing, as always. I love when they bring out that grinder and the sparks fly. Best part. And then this new one, Freak Show. I'm not usually scared of needles, or they don't really do anything for me, but watching a guy put one through his arm was just on a whole nother level. That was... Did he just do that, like, just straight up? Or is there a trick to it? I have no idea. Anyway, I haven't even touched the scare zones, but now that it's night and it's kind of the peak of the evening, I feel like it's no better time to explore. First scare zone up is Exile Canyon.
¡Ay, su puta madre!
Oh my god, that skeleton scared me.
That skeleton scared me.
Oh shit!
There it is.
Super glad I caught Exile Canyon when I did, because there were still enough people there where the scare actors had something to work with. It was just phenomenal. I saw all types of scares and double scares, and it's just great to be back. There's one more maze left though, and that's right around the corner here, and that is Bloodshed.
This is like found footage.
What's your friend's name?
Gianna.
No,
All right.
don't say that. Stop. Justin.
Gianna!
Yes.
I miss you. No! Gianna, come back! You'll be okay, I promise.
Okay, we lost one. Anybody else?
No. Oh, you in the front now, okay. Squishy!
Whoa.
Is that like Prospector Joe
Okay.
from
Okay.
Where are you going?
Okay. Bro, how do you...
What? Look at what she did to them! Please, go!
Yo, where is Mama? Okay, Mama. Okay. Where is Mama? Unironically, where is Mama?
I want to know where
Anybody ask how's Mama?
Exactly.
No.
That's me!
Noah.
Hi, Noah!
The straight hand. No, it's not. That's not my name.
Okay, so where's the guy with the chainsaw? Because he has to be out here somewhere.
I don't think this is it. That's it.
Okay.
I didn't like that.
Okay. Okay.
I think this is the end.
Push me.
No, it's not the end. It is the end.
There has to be a guy with a chainsaw.
So wow, I don't think I've ever been in a house where somebody just turned around and left through the front. I just forgot the girl's name, I'm so sorry. But I hope you're doing okay. The rest of you, oh man, thank you for going through that with me, because whew, that was something. I don't think they warned everybody that I was going to be coming through backwards with the camera, so my backpack is feeling a little scared right now because it got most of the scares. Like as soon as I turned the corner, like my backpack turned the corner, it was getting the scare. So I feel a little bad about that. I probably could go again if I have time, but we're trying to go see Lady of the Lake Cemetery right now.
Oh my god. Don't scared!
So DMP was wonderful again this year. They always do it, like, they switch up the songs, and there's very clearly, like, a back catalog. Obviously, because I don't want to put copyright music in this one, I'm going to put a list of all the songs that they performed into the description, so you guys are aware of the lineup, the set list for this year. But I love, and I'll mention that they brought back a couple of songs, and that makes me so happy. They brought back a couple of songs. They brought back some from last year, and it's just a wonderful rotation. It's just one of the better live shows that I've seen, even compared to like some of the big stuff that you see at like HHN. It's still such a rock solid show. Y'all did amazing. If you managed to watch this, and yeah, can't wait to come back and see that again. Unfortunately, unlike years prior, I haven't been able to really go through the scare zones because I prioritize the mazes. So here is my beloved Clown Town. Let's take a walk.
Of the paparazzi, Frills and Magic. Hi, how you doing?
Good to see you. Oh, Clown Town warms my heart. Sadly, it's kind of towards the end of the night, and there aren't that many people out. But overhearing one of the clowns telling a group of girls, everybody should have a clown in their life. I agree. Next up is Scarecrow Street, and look what they did with that archway from Summerfest. It looks amazing. Unfortunately, catching these, they look really nice, but like the guy with the chainsaw, people were asking him for a photo. Like, it's cool. I heard a couple of screams. You can hear the chainsaw. But yeah, totally different mood right now to when it was kind of like the peak of the night. But because the hours are kind of shortened, the peak of the night is kind of small, but it is a Friday night as well. There is Oktoberfest this season. It's kind of happening in this little space here, and I figure I might as well mention it before we head over to the last scare zone, which I believe is back to being District 6.
Where you going?
Where's he?
Going this way? I'll be down.
I'll be back.
Got you.
I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna see you.
So I don't know what was going on there at the end. It looks like they're worshiping that big animatronic. I don't even know if he has a name, but the fact that they're trying to create a little bit of a story and add like set pieces, like I remember seeing at HHN at some of their scare zones, periodically a thing would happen. That's something that I am so happy to see. And for any of you demons that may be watching, hi. So unfortunately, the night is over. That is it. All the ghouls, demons, and clowns are going to bed. And that means we got to think about our experience here for opening night. There's still chainsaws in the distance though. So one unfortunate thing is that it felt like a short evening, and that's because the hours have been reduced. And I was able to confirm that these decisions were based on data that they've gotten about attendance. On Friday nights in September, typically the attendance is a lot lighter. And rather than having to cut people at the end of their shifts, they opted, instead of cutting people and cutting hours on people who are expected to work later, they opted instead to just kind of keep it short in September, and I believe they will close later in October. That kind of ties into Fright Fest Power Hours, which they didn't consider too much of a success because there were times where at the last hour or two of the night there was 0 people in the park with a bunch of staff just kind of not doing anything. So obviously if you're a business, you're not trying to have that again. The other thing that you'll notice is that they've gone from 10 mazes, which was a lot, to 6. And I think a lot of people thought that, or the prevailing criticism was that they kind of might have stretched themselves a little too thin because there weren't that many scare actors for each one. So instead, they wanted to focus on just a few houses, get all the scare actors that they can in those, and all of the different like lighting equipment and all of those sorts of things for the special effects. And in my opinion, that really worked. Big Top Terror, I'm still like amazed at how good it was. Like, it was unbelievable. And there were plenty of scare actors in Aftermath and Bloodshed. So really, I think the decision was smart. But speaking of the amount of scare actors, I was able to get some numbers from PR. Right now, they currently have about 125, 130 scare actors hired just for tonight. But the goal is to get somewhere between 220 and 250 scare actors total. So what you saw tonight is just like the tip of the iceberg in terms of how much stuff we're going to see, how many scare actors we're going to see. It's ambitious in my opinion because it's so tough to like hire people nowadays. But all in all, I would say that this is probably the strongest opening night for a Fright Fest that I've seen since like 2017 in my opinion. Especially with the scare actors and the shows. I think everything was pretty solid, especially as a starting point for what is going to be a 7 or 8 week long spooky season here at Fright Fest at Great Adventure. So I'm pretty stoked to come back. But anyway, all that being said, thank you Six Flags for letting me do all of the mazes early this time around. It means so much to me. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Des and I'm making my own adventure.
And also, before I forget, shout out to Massimo. I'm forgetting everybody who joined me for Aftermath, everybody who joined me for Bloodshed, all the kids that said hi after Dead Man's Party, Des, who's hiding behind me, and let's see, we got Charles, there's too many, but Tommy, I saw you, and Ricky, I saw you. It was awesome. Have a good night.